I know a lot of you guys out there have been looking for ways to get more GIl, and right now is probably one of the best times to acquire a bunch of GIl for a lot of you players out there, and some rank experience on top of that for very low energy per session of GIl. You can get up to 100,000 GIl per 5 energy right now for the next couple of months, actually, in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. This is going to allow you to go ahead and save up money for ability awakenings and 7-star awakenings as well. And if you've been looking forward to those expert missions whenever they may come to the global version, the JP's expert missions were based on how many 7-stars you had awakened, up to 100 7-stars. And a 7-star awakening, as you may know, is 3 million GIl per awakening. So that's going to be quite a lot of money for you to be looking forward to acquiring in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. But before we get into it, guys, I do want to go ahead and let you guys know that if you are looking for a different way to support the channel in the trying month of January, whether it was Patreon or Twitch, now also the channel memberships on YouTube are out as well. I finally turned that on for you guys who want to go around that route. Small little tokens of appreciation for supporting the channel in that variety on YouTube, whether it's going to be the nice little sneak peek of full videos before they're actually released in the morning when I do upload them, and other small things such as that. So thank you guys so much who decided to go out and beyond to support the channel so I can continue delivering this content to you guys in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius and other games. Now, you guys are probably wondering exactly what is it that we are using and doing to farm this GIl. Now, actually, right now, we've had a lot of stuff added to the game this week, but we have the free party trials, the awesome battle rewards. A lot of you guys out there have probably already done these. Veteran players probably can get in there and do them pretty easily. These are the two fights from the fixed battle trial, except you get to bring your own units. And they're pretty much the same thing as the Defiance of Fate Lightning Tyrant 3-round battle that you used to get into the Hall of Fame, which is up for 47 more days. Now, the free party trials here, there's going to be 2 different ones. Whatever one you decide to do, it does not matter. I do Essence of Despair because it has no HP hard lock. You can also do the Maw of Malice. You can kind of bring whatever sort of party you want to this one. The Essence of Despair one, though, in my opinion, is a little bit easier due to it having 100% resistance to everything except for fire, whereas the Essence of Despair, his brother, the Maw of Malice, has 100% resistance to everything but wind, but it still resists wind by 50%. So if you're looking to beat one of these trials ASAP, Essence of Despair is where you're going to want to be. Essence of Despair also has an insane amount of defense and a low amount of spirit, whereas the Maw of Malice, the top one here, has a high amount of spirit and a low amount of defense. So depending on what you have access to, one of these is going to be better for you than the other one. But let's go into the Essence of Despair real quick, and let's see exactly how much we can get from going in here. Now, you don't need to be able to take this boss out in one turn or any super crazy thing like that. I know a lot of you guys out there who are using mages, especially some sort of fire mage, can just kind of go in here, bring your traditional team, and kill it in a couple of turns. You are going to want to bring somebody, doesn't have to be masterminds on, but somebody with a GIl Finder passive ability. You don't need Waylay or anything, but you do want some sort of passive GIl Finder ability in there. There's some friend point units. Normal's on has it. Masterminds on has it as well. This is the ragtag team I'm taking, you know, a couple naked units and some, you know, my big old knock this chain finisher, and then some Quicksilver untraceable phone stuff with Zahn. So most of the damage is going to be coming from my 2 chain finishers. This is the party that I'm using. You don't have to use a party like this whatsoever. Like I said, this boss actually has a lot more defense than spirit, but I don't really have a lot of mages on my account, so this is the way that we're going about it here. So as far as the little strategy that I'm using here to farm this up a little bit with my extra energy for the day, etc., etc., I'm using Malphasy here for the defense and spirit break because this boss is fully breakable, as you may have known. I'm using the little bit of the limit burst gauge fill that Malphasy does give to fire off Ignacio's skill that allows him to forge weapon Flame Blast, which is going to be an attack and magic buff for the entire team. It also is going to fuel his ability to imbue the entire team with a fire element. And then I'm going to crush stamp for the 110% fire imperil, so we're going to do that now. And the Noctis is just literally going to be chain finishing here. So we're using, I think it's like Star of the Rogue, Axe of the Conqueror, and then like these 2 skills here, and a point blank warp strike. So I'm doing double Noctis there. My chainers actually aren't doing that much damage, as you'll see here in a second. They're not really doing a whole lot. It's more about the Noctises here going in, doing damage, and it looks like Zahn is suffering a little bit from that bug, Gumi, that makes him just cast his skill like an extra 2 times. I don't know why he's using 5 of his own skills. That's why that last skill was like chaining with nothing, because they were extra skills. So this is a 2-for-1 video for you guys, ladies and gentlemen out there. A bug video as well. It's not affecting my ability to go ahead and do this in any way, shape, or form. Just firing skills off left, right, front, and center. Apparently, he is the mastermind after all, guys. But you don't need to take this boss out in turn 1. And you can see that we got 100,000 gil. 100,000 gil for doing the Essence of Despair free party trial. Essence of Despair definitely is the one that I would go for. There's no HP locks on it. There's that 1% threshold technically, but the boss just auto KOs itself afterwards. Whereas if you try to do the Maw of Malice, it has a 79% HP threshold. It has a 5% HP threshold. I think it also has a 1% HP threshold as well. I think the 1% HP threshold, it auto KOs itself there too. But Essence of Despair, remember guys, you can fully break it. It's resistant to everything but fire. It's not weak to fire, but it's a 0 resist to fire versus a 100 to everything else. So fire damage is definitely where you're going to want to be there. It is 80% resist to non-elemental damage. So you need to do some sort of elemental damage, period. You can take it slow. You don't have to go ahead and KO it. There's a lot of different ways that you can go ahead and turn 1 KO it if you want to, whether it's double chain finishes, etc., etc. Because if you're going for the turn 1 KO, then you definitely can get in there and just bring a whole team of damage dealers. You are going to want to bring GIl Finder, whether it's Mastermind's on, Normal's on, Paul. I think Paul, the friend point unit, actually has GIl Finder, possibly, maybe. I'm not sure. There's a couple other weird units that have it as far as GIl Finder goes. And this is 5 energy for 100,000 gil. I know I kind of clicked by it a little fast there, so let's go back in here so I can show it to you guys. 100,000 gil. This boss is a demon, so whoever your best damage dealer is, you're going to want to put Diablos on them, get Demon Killer on that character for you here. And we're just going to go ahead, Malphase, and then Ignacio. Ignacio is going to be very confused with his life, apparently, so we're going to strike with Iron's Hot, right? From Forge Weapon, Flame Blast, Crush Stamp, Critical Stamp, boom. And then setting up your friend unit every turn is, you know, is something that you're just gonna have to do. You have to suffer through it if you're using a friend unit for damage like I am, because you know, all my good gear is on the boy Noctis. So we're gonna go in here, we're gonna set this up again, and we're gonna pound it out, boom, gone, got him. And then Zahn is he's just, I don't know what he's doing. He's multiplying. He's just happy to see the GIl come in. I think Zahn is just happy to see the GIl come in. He's finally, you know, had a role in my party. I haven't actually used him. We got him randomly when we were trying to get a couple copies of Agent Olive for the Crown Prince Noctis, which I still need to run through Item World. That's going to be super good one day when I get in there. So let's look at this quest end screen, and I'll promise not to click past it 1,000 frames per second here. So you can see 100,000 gil, so it's 50,000 gil base, and then you can bring a 100% GIl Finder unit to bump that up to 100,000 gil. It gives you 1,000 rank EXP, so nothing super insane, but it is only 5 energy. So that's the thing, 5 energy here for 100,000 gil. It would be, if you run it 10 times, it's going to be 1,000,000 gil for 50 energy, or it could be 500 energy for 10 million gil, or 5,000 energy for 100 million gil. So if you want to run this 5,000 energy worth for 100 million gil, if you really want to get that gil in there, if you really can go ahead and farm this, that's something that you could do there. I wouldn't lapis refresh or anything crazy like that, but I know a lot of you guys also have been telling me you have infinite. You guys have infinite energy pots out there. So if you are looking for a lot of money to throw into this, because like I said at the start of the video, especially if you're looking forward to awakening more 7-star characters. I know some people in the Discord too, they have a lot of cool characters. They're looking forward to the expert missions that JP has, where you need to awaken 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 different 7-star units in the future at some point. This is actually a really good way to farm that money up. And this is going to be around, like it says here, until the 4th of March. So you can have a little bit of time to farm this out too. So anytime you have some extra energy floating around, you can get in here if this is something you want to do, right? Turn 1 it, turn 2 it, turn 3 it, 4 it, 5 it. It still is worth it because it's 100,000 gil. If you have 500 energy pots laying around, you could just throw those into the Essence of Despair. Hopefully they don't nerf it after this video, because that's going to give you 100 million gil right then and there. That's going to be a lot of characters you guys could unlock out there. That's 33-ish of the 7-stars that you could unlock. 33 7-stars, not to mention the crazy different amount of ability awakenings, right? It's characters like Sieghard who get like, feels like 17 different ability awakenings. I think he's got like 9 or 11 or something like that too. And that can get pretty expensive on top of everything else that you're doing here. If you want an actual guide for how to do this, this is not going to be a guide on how to actually beat the boss. These two bosses, if you want a guide for them, guys, they work very, very similarly to the fixed battle trial system or the unlocked fixed battle trial system where you fight all 3 waves in a row. They're the same bosses. If you want an actual guide for that, go ahead. I'll have a link in the description for you guys for the guides to those things, and you can just kind of see what they do in there and see what the strategy was for either the fixed party system or the ability to bring your own units there. So we're gonna smack this guy here. Boom, we barely got him. Zon out there, give him the Joker's wild death animation. My mind is broken too, Essence of Despair. I am sorry to put you through this, sir, but I'll probably be in here. And like I said, you know, I'm using a full DPS team, but Aurora Frivia doesn't really have the best damage if you're not unlocking her skill. She can take this fight out in like 30 turns very easily, right? Turn 1, use her EP skill plus Gift of Daylight, and then start chaining with your friend unit. I'm not doing that. I'm literally using her as a chain builder to do a little bit of damage. You guys can see that the damage is really coming from the double chain finish thing. This is just the easiest thing for me to set up and take it out in turn 1 with the gear that I have on my account and the units that I have. So put some comments down below. Let everyone know exactly what you're using to help each other out. Give everyone ideas, etc. Put some nice comments down there so we can see exactly how it is that you guys are doing this. I always enjoy reading those comments. If you want to see more stuff like this, guys, subscription button for the channel, notification bell on, and if you are looking for a way to further support the channel on top of the free ways that help out tremendously, comments, likes, all that good stuff, then the channel membership there is there for your viewing pleasure as well. Until then, take care, guys. I'll see you in the next one, and stay safe out there.